Hey y'all, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and it's time for another of my Beachy page kits from our recent cruise. So I have these thickers that are multicolored in gold. I have a couple of pieces of paper from just a pad that was kind of beachy, and then I have this gorgeous Jen Hadfield, I think it is, Sail Away wood grain. There's a little bit of a pink background, and then this is from another craft consortium paper pad, and I just thought the colors went well together. So this burlap looking paper sort of has a little bit of a pink tint, which is very similar to the pink tint in the wood grain, so I just thought they really went well together. I was thinking I was going to do a half and half, but I'm going to do a third at the bottom, and I knew that they wouldn't line up if I did it the wood grain going horizontal, so I'm going to do it vertical wood grain, and they still of course won't line up perfectly, but it's not going to bother me as in the same way, because I can do them as sort of a mirror image from each other. And I'm cutting them at 4 inches. And before I move on, I'm going to try and think about the layout of the photos. So I start by just playing around with the photos. We did a lot of stuff that day on the island. We did a Jeep tour around the whole island, and it was really nice. We went snorkeling, we had lunch on the beach, we went to the lighthouse, the little maritime museum at the foot of the lighthouse. So we did a lot. We went to the base part where there's the lagoon, they call it, and there are crocodiles. So what I've done is I've cut a 7-inch strip of that watery paper, but it wasn't quite long enough, so I'm having to splice it. And what I'm going to do is just put an embellishment over the splice so that you can't tell. And then I had these 49 in Market. It's a file folder. I cut it in half, and I'm going to use that as well. I liked the colors on it and the feel of it. And then I'm using some of the Paige Evans Adventurous tags. And then I decided I really like this paper on the back side, so I'm going to find a couple of areas of the paper that I feel I'm okay to sacrifice the tags. As you can tell, I've used them. And so this, I'm going to do just a very thin line of this, and it's just a little bit darker teal. Than the other papers, and so I think that'll help give a little contrast. I am inking everything with hickory smoke. It's kind of a darkish gray. Normally I would do browns on a beachy page, but there are gray lines between the wood grains and some black lines on the black writing and stuff on the 49 and Market stuff. So I'm going with this darker gray, and it comes out nice. It works well. And I'm just trimming up this tag. Nice thing about using inking, if your cutting is not perfect, it doesn't matter, because you can just ink it and nobody will know. So everything on the page does get inked. I do a lot of that off screen though. And I'm just looking to see if there are any other tags that I want or need. And I decide I'm going to hold off for now. I'm going to mark where I want to cut that paper. And I'm pretty happy with the layout approximately like this. I still have more embellishments that I had pulled, and this is just a variety. Some of it is Paige Evans, some of it is 49 and Market. I have some of the string from 49 and Market. I'll do that toward the end. Some wordy bits, another Paige Evans tag. So I'm just playing around. And then this map, I think that was from maybe Tim Holtz. Now, interestingly, I decide I'm going to put that circle at the side, and then I come back and change my mind. So I have to remember that I'm going to cover that. So I fussy cut a couple of things from the 49 and Market, a couple of shells and that flower. And that's where I realize I need to put, I'm counting the shell as kind of a circular element, so I didn't need another circular element over on that far right. So I'm tucking that underneath, and you can see the little wordy bits I have. And now I'm going to do the title. Now the word Cozumel is in the photo, so I didn't really need to write Cozumel on here. And I think that gets kind of boring. Day in Cozumel, or exploring Cozumel. So I'm doing Isla Bonita for the title. These thickers are multicolored. Some of them are gold, solid gold, or colors with gold in them. But I'm really happy with the tones. The tones are very similar to that wood grain and the other things that I'm using. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then I just add these little parenthetical markers, and then I pulled out the Paige Evans Adventurous enamel dots, the few that I have left. They're real pretty, and they're kind of see-through. So I'm just really having to scavenge for the last bits and pieces that I can use on here, because I did not want to bring in the yellow or the dark blue. They just didn't look right. So I'm focusing on the two, there's two pinks and a light turquoise and a dark turquoise. So I'm just mixing and matching. I do end up with 4 of those clusters, but I'm okay with it. And I'm going to do some gold splatter, the Tim Holtz fossilized amber. And I remembered I had that string, and I need to, do something with the 2 tags. So kind of a weird page. I end up with a lot of 4 of things, but it's okay. It came out pretty, even though it didn't follow the 3 rule, or the odd number rule. So I'm using some art glitter glue to force the string down. It had some crimps in it from being wrapped around a card, and so I'm just forcing it down. I'm using more glue than I normally would, but I like the end result of it actually. And I didn't tie these or anything. I'm just running them through to have some sort of loose, natural little flow of these. So I'm going to tuck this under some of those wordy bits, and then glue down the ends to make a little natural looking swoops. And I do the same over here. I'm tucking it under the flower. Then I think the flower pops up. All right, we're going to add some glue there. Make sure everything stays down. And this glue dries so quickly, you just have to hold it for about 3 seconds, and then that's it. But I was pretty happy with how that came out. And we're ready for some gold splatter, I think. And then we'll do some close-ups. Please give this video a thumbs up. I am going to be gone a couple days. I think I have enough videos to take us through the weekend. I try and post 6 videos a day. Sorry, not 6 videos a day. 6 videos a week, Monday through Saturday. And I will be back Sunday night. I'm taking my daughter to college. Very sad. Happy for her, sad for me. And so we have to go get her moved into her dorm. It's a long, long drive. And so I'll be back on Sunday and crafting on Monday. Thanks a lot, you guys, and come back to my space to craft.